Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the immigration drama The Flood, directed by Anthony Woodley and starring two famous Game of Thrones actors, Lena Headey and Ian Glenn, who are these immigration officers who are interviewing a man who's come over to the UK, who's portrayed by Ivano Jeremiah, and trying to question him to see should he be somebody who should be offered asylum here in the UK. And if you've ever seen the movie Atomic Blonde, seems like a strange comparison, but that film's whole plot structure is set up where Charlize Theron is getting interviewed, and it keeps cutting back and forth to the action that led up to this point. It's the same exact story structure that's incorporated into The Flood. Here's the problem. You build tension, you keep building to this point, and then you cut back to a room of just a couple people sitting in there asking each other questions. And it feels like a lot of the tension keeps getting broken up in unsatisfying ways throughout the film. And I feel like that's probably the biggest negative that I could come up with The Flood. Because in general, this is a good film. It is a solid drama. There's particular scenes throughout this film that work really, really well. There's a beginning scene where this refugee, is found in the back of a truck. The actual tension that's built up throughout the scene is poignant. It works. And it got me, and I'm like, okay, this film's kind of setting the tone here. I can feel this. And then you'll build up tension. And then it'll just be, the rug will be pulled out from under you because we cut back to this small little room where somebody's getting interviewed. There's other scenes throughout the film, especially when they're at a border crossing and it's building up the tension of a truck being searched, them being on the truck, different characters dealing with different things on that truck, and each of those little things building up the tension. Those scenes work. And that's the thing. There's scenes in this film that really work. There's emotional moments between the characters in the present time. Lena Headey gives a really strong performance here, and she has her own personal baggage, what's influencing her job and her judgment, because this whole entire film relies upon her judgment and her connection to this man's plight and her own baggage as a character, her own personal issues that she's bringing to the table. And she gives a strong performance, and so does the actor who plays this refugee. And there's some moments that feel a little repetitive in his journey, because really the journey is about getting out of one place, moving on to the other, getting out of one place, moving on to the other. But when you look at each of these particular scenes, they really work. This was well structured and well put together. I just wish that the story, which realistically, if they structured it more of just focusing on his journey, how much would you really need the Lena Headey character? Which, she's supposed to be our audience perspective on this and bringing some emotional tension as well. But was that for the betterment of the film? And that's a tricky thing to judge, because then it would be a very different film. But in general, I got some tension and emotion out of this film, and at least when a film makes you feel some things, it's at least doing that well. And that's a big first step into getting an audience's attention, is making them feel things. And I feel like there's scenes in this film that really do work. It builds the appropriate tension, and you get something out of it. In general, the choice of how the story was told might not have done this particular story the most benefit. But there's strong performances, there's scenes that really work. If you want to feel some tension and have a strong drama and something that's just a short little bit of a film, go check out The Flood. It's streaming right now on Hulu. Yes. And that's where I watched it. So, those are my thoughts on The Flood. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.